This week on Stubborn Grit.
And this was for my brackets. I even set these nails in here.
His wife and he are building a house together. Sweat equity. It's like a marriage workshop. Build the dream. How hard can it be? How long will it take? They don't have a clue. They're doing it themselves. Ignorance is bliss. Will they survive? Will their teenagers thrive? What's wrong with you people? Are they crazy? Maybe. Dream big. Don't quit. Stubborn grit.
So it got down to about 28 degrees Fahrenheit last night. We came out here and put an extra layer of burlap around the outside perimeter, and then put plastic and plastic scraps on it the best we could. Turn the water off. Didn't need to keep that wet. So here's the next day. I've already pulled this plastic back because I'm rehooking up the hose. This is our rig for how we're keeping the fabric wet. The burlap. These are called soaker hoses. I think they're like $15 pop or something. And about 50 feet. Big box store. So far they're working. And I went ahead and bought the nicer splitter. This 4 connection adapter. It's metal. It's like a brass. You can buy cheaper all plastic Y connectors, but we couldn't find that, so we just went with this. But it's working a lot better having that splitter. Initially we didn't have that. We just kind of tried to loop the hoses and such, but this works really well. And now that we're covering with plastic, this would require us not to have to wet it as often, having that plastic on top, because it retains the moisture a lot better. You want it to all cure equally. What you're fighting is the curling of the slab, but hopefully I've designed it so that that's not a problem. I have these large footings on the outside. They're about 2 feet wide with about 21 inches deep, and then there's like a 45 off the top, really to smooth that transition. Mostly, I guess, to reduce cracking if possible. The weight of that footing should help keep the curling to a minimum. The biggest thing is just doing everything right, like the curing process. That's a big deal. You want a slow cure, so this time of the year, it's a pretty good time of the year to do it because it's a very slow cure for the most part. We did use a high early strength concrete, so in about 3-4 days it was up to, according to the plant, they said it'd be 5,000 psi, which is what we ordered. So it'll cure for a long time. The 28-day thing is just kind of a standard time to test it, find out if you got that particular PSI you specified. It just depends on how fast you're trying to get on the slab. The longer you cure it, the better, generally speaking, up to a point. I think it's 7 days in a standard mix. You're looking at 70 or 80% of the strength gain. Yeah, here's our conduit. I should clean it off before it got too hard. Oh well. And there's my friend's turnbuckles. I have brand new wood in there. Here's my professional string line. I was just double checking everything at the last second, see how it worked out. On the day of the pour, I didn't sleep the night before, and that week leading up to the pour, I was going non-stop every day, trying to get everything done.
Mama said not to quit.
I had the whole thing planned out. I had an extra nail there. I don't know if you can see that extra nail there. That was for my string line.
And this was the for the forms, and this was for my brackets. I even set these nails in here to make sure the string line was lined up, and it was lined up as a reference on my form boards. My form boards apparently didn't move, which is good. So today we were supposed to, according to schedule, our planned schedule that we came up with, we were supposed to spray or roll on this cure and seal so we could
back off all the watering. The curing is, the moist curing, the wet cure has been working fairly well, it seems. I noticed the shrinkage around the outside was like maybe a 1/16 of an inch. Yeah, but it looks like the concrete, the initial shrinkage is maybe a 1/16 on each side. Unless there's a bunch of cracks in here I haven't seen. But that drying shrinkage is going to be the big unknown. It's inevitable. I think you could steam cure it or something, and that would reduce some of that drying shrinkage. Maybe 50% of drying shrinkage happens in the first 2 months, and then maybe 80% of drying shrinkage happens in the first year. Of course, there's many variables going on there. So we'll see how it all plays out. Again, we only have 3 pounds per yard of this structural fiber. It's actually a plastic. The marketing claims that it's as good or better than the metal fibers.